Photoshop makes it very easy to work with colour using the Swatches panel. In this video, we're going to have a look exactly how that works. My name is Ken Fisher and this is Livelink Training. Now the Swatches panel is where we store all the colours that we want to work with, and here it is. What we are currently looking at is all the colours of the default swatches that load in with Photoshop. Now I might want to paint with one of these colours, so I've first got to select it. Now I can basically select colours with the eyedropper tool, or if I'm using a brush, if I've got the brush tool selected and I hold the Alt key down, then I've got my eyedropper again. Now what I can do is I can move over one of these colours, and let's say that red one, and if I click on it, you'll see it puts it in as the foreground colour. And now I can paint with that colour. Let's go and select another one. I'll say click on yellow, and I can paint with yellow. Now if I want to use one of the colour swatches as a background colour, then I hold the Control key or the Command key down and click. So let's try one of these, this light blue one here. If I click, that puts it in as the background colour. Okay, I'll undo those two. Okay, so what now if I have a particular colour in mind and I want to save it for later use? Well, then I need to add the colour to my Swatches panel. Now adding colours is as simple as this. We need to move the cursor over the colour that we want to sample. And again, if I've got a paintbrush tool, I can hold the Alt key down, or I can just go and select my eyedropper tool. Now if I click, it puts that colour, you can see the blue colour from the sky, in as my foreground swatch. Now what I can do is move over my swatches panel, and if I move over an empty space, not over a swatch where I'll get my eyedropper, but if I move over the next empty space and click, it gives me an option to rename. So I'll just leave this one called Swatch 1 and I'll click OK, and you can see that it now puts that in as the next colour in the colour swatch. Now you could also do exactly the same thing by going down to the bottom of the Swatches panel and click on the new swatches icon, which is down at the bottom here next to the trash can. Now let's select another colour. We'll say from this tree here, but this time I want to bypass the renaming, so I don't want that dialog box to come up. Now let's select another colour. We'll go for something out of these trees here, so I'll first click on it, and that's going to put that colour in the foreground colour swatch. And then now if I want to add it to my swatches panel, but I don't want to rename it, I don't want to get that dialog box come up, then I'm going to hold the Alt key down or the Option key on the Mac, but this time when I click, it will just put it straight in with no renaming dialog. Now what happens if I want to delete a swatch? Well, that's easy too. I'm going to move my mouse over the swatch, I'm going to hold the Alt key down, and you get a little pair of scissors, and then when I click, it removes it. Click, and it's gone. Now let's just add 5 or 6 colours from this image to make myself a colour palette. So we've already got a blue one, okay, so we'll go back for the green again. So I'll click, we'll have a little colour swatch from the green, and we'll say one from the building here. And we'll have a little bit of black going off there. So we'll click on there. And let's have a bit of the roof tiles. I'll have a colour from the roof tiles. There we go. So we've got 5 or 6 colours there. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 colours there that are basically related to this particular image. Now what happens if I only just wanted to see for this particular project those few swatches and I didn't want to see any of the others? Well, I could like delete every one of these except those, but that's a long-winded process because I can only do them one at a time by holding the Alt key down, and then when I get the scissors, clicking, and that will delete one of the colours. But there must be a better way, and you're right, there is. So to speed up the process a little bit, I'm going to use the preset manager. So I'm going to go over to the edit menu, and I'm going to go down to presets, and I'm going to select preset manager. And this is where we can manage much more efficiently all those presets. Now it defaults to brushes, but I obviously want my swatches. And here we can see we've got exactly the same that we've got in a Swatches panel. So I want to delete everything except these last 5. And I can do that now. I can click on that first one. I can hold the Shift key down and click on that last one. And then I can click delete. Now I can reset these at any time, so I've not actually got rid of anything. I can bring them back. And then I need to select these again and save them out as a new preset. So I'll click on that first one, I'll shift click on the last one, and I'll save it out as a set. Now on my desktop I've created a little folder which is called Swatches, and I'm going to put that in there. And I'll call these swatches Windmill. There we go, and it'll save it out as a .aco file. These are the swatches files. And if I click save now, that will save those swatches into that folder for me. And then I can click done. Now if you look over in my swatches panel now, you'll see that I've only got those 5 colours to work with, which is brilliant. But what happens if I want all the colours in addition to those 5? Well, that's no problem, because if we go up to the flyout menu on the swatches panel, this little symbol in the corner, and click on it, what we can do is we can reset the swatches. So if I click on that and say replace the current colour swatches with all the default colours, yes, I want to do that. Don't want to save them before replacing them. Well, in this case, no, I don't. So I've now got all my default swatch colours back. Now I can load in the swatches that I made earlier. So I can click, but this time I'm going to go to load swatches. I'm going to navigate to that folder that I've made called swatches. And in there I've now got my windmill swatches, which is a .aco file. So I'm going to select that and load that in. And there you can see they've appeared at the end. I've now got all my default swatches, and I've got the 5 colours that are specifically related to this image. Well, that's it for this tutorial on the basics of the Swatches panel. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments underneath the video. If you like the video, please share it with a friend and click the subscribe button so that when I upload a new video, you are the first to know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.